Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about a basic Tendu exercise and the skill of Tendu, which you're going to find a lot of uses for in every show ever. So if you'll start off in a first position, the word Tendu is French, like a lot of the terms we've been talking about, and it means stretch. So we think of Tendu as being a way to learn how to point our foot and how to articulate the muscles in your foot, but really what it means is you're stretching the entire leg. That Tendu motion is a motion that starts way up here from your hips, just like we talked about with plie and releve, how your turnout comes from way up here. So when you plie, you're opening using the muscles way up here, and when you releve, you're still engaging those muscles to stay turned out as you stand up. These muscles way up here and all the way through your leg are going to drive your Tendu. But first order of business, we have to talk about toe point. So whenever you point your toes, even if you're not doing it via a Tendu, you really don't want to only think about your toes. So if I only pointed my toes, here's my foot. If I only take my toes and I point them, that's not very cute. That's also not going to be very fun to land on. If I do a jump and I land like that, I just got a broken toe. So it's really not only about your toes. When you point your toes, it's about pointing your ankle from way up here. You're going to take your ankle and press it through. Remember when we learned releve? We rose up, and I talked about how it's important to get all the way up there, to lock all the way out in this position that lifts your ankle as high as it'll go. Toe point is the same way. When you go to point your toe, you need to pull all the way through your ankle like that and straighten your toes out as the last part. Really, your toes are the last element of pointing your toes, if that makes sense, which is why a lot of people actually just say point your feet, because it's your whole foot that matters there. So, before you do anything else, get comfortable with the idea of pressing all the way through your whole foot from your ankle, all the way down through the top of your foot, toes go last. You also don't want to crunch your toes together in your toe point. You can't see it super well because of my sock. You want to let your toes be long and relatively straight and not crunch them together, because I end up with foot cramps, and also it's not super comfy to land on. So think about point your ankle, point the top of your foot, relax your toes, and you'll get a nice lovely toe point. Play with that idea with both of your feet, and then you're ready to go on to a Tendu. So again, Tendu means stretch. You want to think about engaging your whole leg to achieve a Tendu. So it's going to start way back here at your butt, and you're going to use all of the muscles in your whole entire leg to push your foot. I'm starting with my right foot. To push your foot straight forward. I'm staying on the carpet. I'm staying super close, and I'm going to get to the point where I can't stay on the carpet anymore if I have all my weight in my left foot. I could stay on the carpet if I step forward, right? But I'm trying to stand in the same position. So if I pull my right foot forward, again, eventually it's gonna get to the point where I can't stay on the floor anymore. So my ankle is gonna have to come up. When it does, it's gonna press through and create that toe point. Very last, I'm going so slow I fell. Very last, I stretch out my toes and I arrive with just my last couple of toes touching the ground, and that press is called Tendu. Again, this is a really unfortunate camera angle, so I don't know if you can tell, but I'm trying to push in the straightest possible line along the carpet. So here's my first position. Imagine you're looking at it from above. This is my first position. My toes are, from the tips of my first position, gonna make a straight line forward and a straight line back where they came from. So I press as straightforward as I can, and I arrive at my toe point. You can see a little bit of my angle, and especially of my ankle is what I was trying to say, and especially from this camera angle, it looks like I'm pushing out to the side, but I'm not yet doing that super intentionally. I'm pushing forward from where my hip already was, and then I'm gonna reverse it. I'm gonna pull straight back down, let the ball of your foot hit first, then when you run out of room, let your heel hit, and close back to first position. That motion's called Tendu. You can do it in all kinds of different directions. So first I'd like you to try pushing straight forward, like I said, and then closing straight back where you came from. Try it with both feet. Straight forward and straight back. Once you're happy with that idea, try pushing it out to the side to second position. So if you take your right foot and you draw a straight line going this way, you're gonna push straight out from where it already was. And if you laid it down, you'd be in a small second position. In fact, a lot of times if you're going to second position, that'll be how you arrive there using a Tendu. So you push out to the side, thinking about your right toe, your right big toe lining up with your left big toe. Maybe it's slightly in front of it. In any case, it's not way back here. It's lined up. So I push out in a straight line, out to second, still squeezing strong up here with my left foot and with my core so that I can stand up straight. And then I reverse it, closing my foot back down where it came from. Same thing, same Tendu motion, is just taking me out to the side. My ankle is super important. I'm pushing high with the top of my foot and my ankle to achieve that nice straight line, and then I come back in and I bend it to stand on it. Again, try the same thing with your other foot. It's exactly the same motion. Press out, staying on the carpet as long as you can, and then lifting to that toe point, and then closing. Whew, my ankles need a second. All right, one more direction I would like you to try this out before we try the exercise. You can push this straight back. Squeeze your bottom and your abs when you do this so that you don't fall. Take your right leg, press straight behind you along the carpet as long as you can until your ankle has to come up like mine just did, and then come into a nice toe point. I'm doing this turned this way so that you can see where I put my leg, but if I was facing you, you would still be able to see just a tiny bit of my heel. You would see that I'm really struggling to stand up straight, and then on my way back, I bend my foot into the position it was in. Whew, it's been a minute since I did that. Everybody practice. So you press back with your right foot, boom, achieve your Tendu and your nice toe point, and then you pull it back in. Try that with your left foot as well. Press back and close. The hardest thing about that, I think, is balancing, so it's really tempting to stop kind of here and end up with like weight in the front of your foot in a forced arch kind of thing. That's not what we're going for this time. We want a full toe point so that if we wanted to pick it up off the ground, we could do that. And eventually we'll get to the point that we do pick it up off the ground. So, promised you a Tendu exercise. It's a super simple one. Lots of you have done it before. Here's how it goes. For right now, you can put your hands on your hips if you promise not to create a lot of shoulder tension. Stand nice and tall with your shoulders relaxed, and then don't worry about your hands. We're gonna start with our right foot. We're gonna push out to the front, Tendu, and close. That's 2 counts. 1, 2, close, 3, 4. We're gonna go to the side, 5, 6, close, 7, 8, to the back, 9, 10, close, 11, 12. Then we're gonna go 13, 14, 15, 16. So slow, 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 to the side, nice and slow, to the back, nice and slow, speed it up, out in plie. Then you're gonna do it going the other way. Left foot goes forward slowly and close, to the side and close, to the back and close, speed it up, out in plie. You may have just busted me on my right side. When I Tendu out to the side, you see how I want to lean this way. That's something you got to fight, and you don't fight it by leaning into your Tendu foot. You fight it by pressing your weight upward, engaging your abs, and standing tall. Use the muscles in your butt to keep you from leaning over. When you're happy with that idea, show me that Tendu exercise. Slow, 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 fast plie. Slow, 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 fast plie. Film your attempt and post it for me.